It is time for opening day, but before we get there, we need to cover a little bit about the offseason and cover a little bit of the spring. So we brought in Michael King in the offseason. He is our number one acquisition, 83 overall, 30 years old. The attributes look pretty solid, and his statistics in 2024 and 2025 look pretty consistent with a 2.4 WAR and then the following year a 2.3 WAR. It's a 3-year contract. And then the next guy we signed was Jordan Montgomery, an 81 overall, 33-year-old lefty. Did not play in 2024, but in 2025 for Kansas City, he was very good. 3.7 ERA, 1.18 whip, and a 2.1 WAR. Not striking a whole lot of guys out, but he was very effective. 3-year deal for him as well, worth $33 million. Alec Bohm we brought in via a trade with the Philadelphia Phillies. We sent over Patrick Sandoval, and in return we got Alec Bohm, a very good hitting third baseman who's actually had some struggles the last couple of years here in the series. The OPS below 700 a year ago. The WAR, 2.5 combined in the past 2 years. And I think the trade and we also signed him to an extension as well, a 3-year, $21 million deal. But the trade with Patrick Sandoval and Alec Bohm was two struggling guys to try and figure it out at new locations. And in Austin Hayes, we brought in as well, pretty good contact hitter. The power could be there. It's the average that was just super consistent the last couple of years. 296 average in 2024 and a 301 average in 2025. And that was good for a 3.6 WAR in 2024 and a 3.5 WAR in 2025. So 7.1 combined WAR. We signed him to a 4-year, $32 million deal. Or actually, that's not going to be 32. It's going to be $38 million deal. We also brought in Kemp Alderman via the Rule 5 draft, somebody who got some power, especially against righties, which is pretty cool to see. He's young, B potential. Definitely was a no-brainer to bring him in. And we also brought in Reynel Delgado, 26 years old, 67 overall, B potential guy. Decent contact hitter. The fielding looks pretty solid. The speed looks pretty solid. Maybe he could turn out to be a good bench bat for us. As we're going to look at Michael King here in the spring against the Royals, I pretty much got to see everything that I wanted to see in this first game here against the Kansas City Royals. And it's 2 strikeouts from Michael King in the top half of the first. Like I said, we saw pretty much everything that I wanted to see just in this game alone. It's another strikeout looking for Michael King as he was tearing up the Royals. It's Cole Reagan's on the mound here for the Royals, and it's Patrick Wisdom batting fourth. And some things never change. Patrick Wisdom goes deep to center field as it's another home run when I have controlled him. And it's another home run coming off of his best year of his career, 453, 106.3 off the bat as he gets the scoring started here in the spring. Somebody that I'm definitely excited about, getting up there in age, but we have control with him for the next 2 years if we would like, this year and next year. And if he's going to continue to hit with this much power, it is pretty much a no-brainer to continue to have him as our DH. As Jordan Montgomery will come on with a 3.7 ERA a year ago that we talked about, pitched in 32 games, as he's going to be facing Michael Garcia as he gets the strikeout looking. It's a 96-mile-per-hour sinker ball for Jordan Montgomery, now facing Vinny Pasquantino. The lefty is going to take him deep to right field. Kemp Alderman is not going to get there to make a play, and it is going to be a 2-run shot for the Kansas City Royals as Vinny Pasquantino goes lefty-on-lefty crime on Jordan Montgomery. So not the greatest showing for Montgomery here in his first, couple of pitches in an Angels uniform, as he's going to force Freddie Fermin to pop up to Alec Bohm to finish off the 4th inning. And now we're going to bring in Fernando Guillen. Last season had a 3.97 ERA. He was very good for us. He's somebody that I have high hopes for coming into this season, as he's going to give up a leadoff double to Alec Thomas, 102 miles per hour off the bat, so giving up some pretty hard contact. The 4-seam only coming in that time at 92 miles per hour. Now it's Michael Massey's turn, and he's going to hit this into the gap of left center field. Sean Skinner trying to get there to cut it off, and he will, as Michael Massey's still going to cruise in with a double. It's an RBI for the Royals, as Fernando Guillen struggling a little bit here in his spring debut. And it's going to be Marcelo Zuna hitting this one back up the middle, and this one's going to score a run, as Fernando Guillen is just really having a tough time at the moment out on the mound. I think with Fernando Guillen, there's a couple things that you need to kind of adjust. The pitching clutch is pretty low, and the control is a little bit of a problem. The hits per 9, the walks per 9, and home run per 9 are all really good attributes. It's the things that you're not really thinking about, the pitching clutch and the control. As Alec Bohm is up here in the bottom half of the 6th, and he's going to go yard. This one's hit deep to right field. As I was wondering, when was I going to get my first home run with our exciting new addition, Alec Boehm. It didn't take very long as we hit the one here in the spring, 387 feet to opposite field. That's an impressive home run right there. And this guy mashes against lefties. And not only does he mash against lefties, if you can get him to the plate with runners in scoring position, he is going to, more likely than not, give you an outcome that you want to see. As it's Kemp Alderman now here in the bottom half of the seventh. He did get the start here in the first spring training game. He is 0 for 2. That's Carlos Hernandez on the mound. As Kemp Alderman's going to crush this one deep to center field as 108 off the bat. Or 106, my fault. But speaking of Kemp Alderman here, anytime that I hit the ball with this guy in the spring, he was hitting the ball very hard. 90 mile per hour exit velo or higher. He hits the ball hard, and he has a very good bat. Defensively, he's probably a little too slow to be, very effective. But he does have some pop in that bat. As now it's Austin Hayes to the plate, and he's going to crush this one deep to left field. As it's another home run for the Angels. It's 4 solo shots. And now you kind of see what I mean. I kind of got to look at just about everything that I wanted to look at here in just this first game of spring training. We got to see Austin Hayes hit a home run. We got Alec Boehm hitting a home run. And then Kemp Alderman, the Rule 5 pickup, looked really good. We got a chance to look at our 2 new starting pitchers. And then Fernando Guillen struggling was kind of a surprise to me. So I wanted to pick up another utility infielder because Reynel Delgado just really wasn't playing that well. Andy Ibanez was somebody who had a really good year with the Dodgers a year ago. I wanted to bring him in, and it was a struggle trying to figure out a contract that would work. We eventually settled on a 1-year, $1.5 million deal. And then you also got Kike Hernandez, who did not play last year, but in 2024 for the Dodgers had a pretty solid season. The hitting attributes aren't too bad. He's got position flexibility. He was also very difficult to try and get under contract here. I think we eventually signed him to a 2-year, $6 million deal, worth $3 million a year. It is a club option in there, so it's practically a 1-year deal if we decide not to pick it up. But I wanted to bring him in because I wanted to, have a position battle for that utility infielder on the big league roster. Sean Skinner hitting 308 here against the Athletics as he's going to go down swinging. He just really did not have a good spring when it's all said and done. He struck out a lot, and I'm not really sure what causes. This time, he's going to ground in to an inning-ending, force out a second. But yeah, he's somebody that's very exciting. The defense is going to be there. The speed on the base paths is going to be there. The biggest thing he really needs to work on is getting that hard contact. There's a look at his defense on display there. Get that hard contact. He's not going to be somebody that hits for extreme power, but if you can hit the ball hard, that's pretty much what I really care about. And here's Andy Ibanez, the guy that we signed, and he's going to get himself a base hit here against the Guardians. Thought about stretching it into 2, decided to hold up and return back to first. Probably the smart decision, as he is playing second here for us. Chase Chaney's on the mound. He had a very bad spring. We'll talk about that later on here in the beginning of this video. But Andy Ibanez, very effective for us. I really liked what he brought to the table. Joe Adell, 615 average so far in the spring. This guy was playing amazing in this spring training. Somebody who I thought about, if he doesn't do well here, we might DFA him. Instead, he was electric as he hits a solo shot here against the Cubs. Javier Assad just was not prepared for it. As Joe Adell has hit his 3rd home run of the spring. That one hit 382 feet. Not the, most well-hit ball by all means, but still, he took it yard, and that's the best possible outcome for a guy like Joe Adell, because this guy has just had his, ups and downs in his entire career, mainly downs, not very many ups. As then we're going through some roster cuts here, as Enrique Hernandez will be sent down. He just didn't do enough for us. Kyron Paris also didn't do enough to make the team. Oscar Gonzalez really didn't get too much to show, but he's not going to make the team. Sam Bachman as well, not making the team here. And then Ronnie Enriquez, 63 overall, 25-year-old. He has used up all of his options at this point, so next time he'll have to clear waivers. He'll be sent down. Caden Dana will also be sent down. Chase Chaney with that 9.47 ERA and 19 innings of work will be sent down. And it's Eric Mott, 7.11 ERA, 1.79 whip, and 19 innings of work. Struck out a lot of batters, but just wasn't that good. And unfortunately, that is going to result in him being sent down. We didn't really talk about him at the beginning, but he will be sent down to start the year. Sean Skinner also will be sent down with that 231 average, unfortunately. And the one that hurt the most for me was Fernando Guillen with a 6.66 ERA. That's some devil type stuff, 1.89 whip. and 24 innings of work. Unfortunately, he is not going to be making the big league roster. There's just too many players in one position. We have too many starters, and Reed Detmers is going to be making the roster, which is kind of surprising to many of you, I would imagine. But this is his last opportunity. If he struggles, he will be on the move. We'll get what we can in return, but Reed Detmers, this is his last chance in an Angels uniform. And here's a look at our bullpen, practically the same as it has been the last couple of years, and our bullpen has been really good. I've always been impressed by them. And here's a look at our lineup. Nolan Schanuel leading off. Mike Trout will be batting second this season, really due to the fact that Alec Boehm has that amazing clutch. Patrick Wisdom will still be batting fourth. Mickey Moniak batting fifth. Logan O'Hoppe, the starting catcher. Austin Hayes will start in left, and he'll bat seventh. Luis Rengifo batting eighth. And then Zach Neto will be batting ninth and playing shortstop. The only change against lefties is going to be the fact that Joe Adell will take over for Mickey Moniak, as he is going to make the team to start out this year. And then looking at the bench, Andy Ibanez will be our utility infielder, Elias Diaz will be our backup catcher, and Kemp Alderman will be our utility outfielder. And that is where I'm going to leave you, as opening day is here and it is time to start 2026. Year 3 opening day, it is finally here for the Los Angeles Angels, a new team, kind of the same, but we did bring in some key pieces that we hope can take us, over that hill, and our first playoff berth of the series, and the Angels' first playoff berth in quite some time. Year 3 is ready to begin against the Toronto Blue Jays, and I'm looking forward to it. Here's a look at your projected leaders here for the Angels. Nolan Schanuel projected to lead in average. Trout lead in OPS, home runs, and RBIs. Logan O'Hoppe, 13 stolen bases, projected to be the leader. And we're projected to finish third in the AL West with an 81-81 record. I'm hoping we can win more games than that, and I'm hoping we can make the playoffs. I really don't think Logan O'Hoppe is going to lead us in stolen bases, though. Michael King will be our opening day starter. I thought about swapping him for Griffin Canning and allowing Griffin Canning to be our starter on opening day. But Michael King, the new addition from free agency, I want to get our first look at him here on opening day. No quick counts in this game. Typically, I would do quick counts when I play full games, but it's actually been a while since I've played a full game and it's opening day, so I figured why not. As Michael King is set, delivers, and the first pitch of the 2026 season is across the plate for a ball. It's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa leading off here for the Toronto Blue Jays. Michael King quickly down 3-0 here against Kiner-Falefa. Michael King was our best pitcher in spring training by far. Griffin Canning also had really good outings as well up until the end of the spring training, as he gets IKF swinging on the slurve. And the count is 3-2. Here's the pitch from King, and it's on the black for strike 3. Michael King picks up his first strikeout as an Angel. Quickly, one away. The 1-2 from King is across the plate for the second strikeout looking. The Blue Jays are just not prepared to take the bat off their shoulders here on opening days. It's Bo Bichette to the plate now, as he's going to hit this one on the ground past Boehm, and it's the first hit of the day for the Blue Jays. One thing that I do want to work on here in Season 3 is just my commentating skills overall. I want to make sure that I'm not yapping too much as I'm playing the game. Therefore, you may not see the pitch on a strikeout. You may just hear the commentary. It is Kyle Schwarber on the Blue Jays here, so they replace Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with some power. As Michael King quickly has Schwarber down 0-2. Here's the slurve, and this one will be hit on the ground. Rengifo to Neto. It is going to be a solid inning number 1 for Michael King. As it's Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Blue Jays, a 4.2 ERA a year ago. Only 5 victories as a pitcher. We all do know that the victories really don't matter as a pitcher. It kind of just indicates that your offense didn't have your back. As Nolan Schanuel will lead off. Last season, 284 average, 8 home runs, and an 808 OPS. And that was due to having one of the best on-base percentages in baseball. As Schanuel is going to hit this one to shallow right. One out for the Blue Jays. That one nearly could have carried out had he gotten, on top of it just a little bit more. As there's a look at our lineup here on opening day. Should be filled with some decent power and some decent speed. Here's the 2-2 count to Mike Trout, and he's going to go down swinging on the splitter. Kevin Gausman with his first strikeout of 2026. And here is our huge off-season acquisition. We didn't pick him up in free agency. It was a one-for-one swap with the Philadelphia Phillies. We sent Patrick Sandoval to the Phillies, and we got Alec Boehm in return, somebody who has kind of had a quiet last couple of years for the Phillies here in the series, looking to turn around his career. And we were kind of thinking that that's what the Phillies would look to do with Patrick Sandoval, is kind of turn around his career, you know, get a whole new trajectory for him. So that's the hope, and that is the goal for Alec Boehm here, as he is ahead in the count 2-1 on Gausman. So Alec Boehm ahead 3-1 here in the count. Somebody who has excellent vision at the plate, can really turn into a very good hitter in the future, as he is going to walk. The defense definitely needs some work, but as far as hitting goes, Alec Boehm could be one of the best hitting third basemen in baseball. Here might be the best, even though he's practically a DH for us. Patrick Wisdom has some pop in his bat. If something is thrown over the heart of the plate, he's going to make you pay. 37 home runs a year ago, 105 RBIs, 755 OPS. Only a 219 average, but when you're hitting 37 home runs, nobody really cares about that. Patrick Wisdom here in his second year with the Angels as he's behind the fastball. That's the perfect pitch to hit. Just couldn't catch up to it. Only 96 from Gausman. Just a really good pitch as Wisdom's going to stay alive, fouling away the fastball. As Wisdom's going to hit this one. This one might find the gap here. Alec Boehm will advance to third. And it's the first base hit for the Angels on the season. And it's Patrick Wisdom of all people. 106 off the bat. I just feel like every time I swing the bat with Wisdom here in MLB the Show, I just crush the ball. Mickey Moniak's another one of those guys that I feel good with at the plate, as he's going to get his first appearance of the 2026 season. 256 average a year ago, 17 home runs, 737 OPS, and 60 RBIs on the season. As Moniak's going to foul this one down the line. There for a second, had we waited back on it, probably could have turned into extra bases. Moniak's going to swing and miss on the four-seam fastball there. That's an excellent pitch to hit. Once again, just late on it. Here's the 2-2 to Moniak. That one's going to miss low and inside here, as Wisdom will be on a move. 3-2 count upcoming from Kevin Gausman. Here's the pitch to Moniak, and he's going to go down and swing, and it's the second strikeout of the inning for Kevin Gausman, and he's going to get out of a first-inning jam here on opening day. One hit for each team through the first inning. We're deadlocked. Jeimer Candelario here for the Blue Jays, former Cincinnati Red, of course. Really hasn't done much for the Reds in his short stint this season. Colton Cowser is a Blue Jay. Not sure when that happened. I believe that might have happened in year one. Michael King with an excellent double play ball. This one might be one. King's going to take his sweet time to get it to second. We will get the runner going to second. Had Michael King been a little bit quicker, we definitely could have turned two. It just seemed like he took his time. As this one right here could be a double play ball as well. Rengifo is just going to throw it on the first instead. I wish in MLB the Show they would just tag the runner out. You know, for some reason, your defenders don't do that. And I thought, well, we probably could have gotten the runner at second, but had we not, then unfortunately, you know, nobody's out. Instead, we're going to end the inning. It's Rengifo taking care of the last two outs as Michael King is fired up as he's pitching a two-hit ball game through 2 innings of work. Here's Logan O'Hoppe, somebody that we're still waiting on, you know, kind of a breakout season. 17 home runs last year. Year one, I think he hit 21. You know, he could be a 30 home run type of guy. We're still waiting on the huge breakout for him, as this one's going to be hitting the gap. Is this going to be extra bases for Logan O'Hoppe on his first at-bat of the 2026 season, as he's into second safely? It's a leadoff double for the Angels. Well, if you want to get hot and have a breakout season, that's the best way to start the season. As here is another addition to the team. It is Austin Hayes. Spent pretty much his entire career in Baltimore up to this point. He was available in free agency, and I thought it was the perfect player for this team. Signed him to a 4-year deal, so he'll play until he's 34 here in Anaheim. Last season, 12 home runs, and season 1, he had 19 home runs, but the average is nearly identical in back-to-back years. The on-base percentage, nearly identical. And then looking at the OPS, an 830 OPS in 2024. If he can play like that, he's an all-star. Austin Hayes is thugging it out with no batting gloves. We'll see how long it takes before he gets his first blisters on the season as he's going to pop this one up to left field. No runner will advance on this play as it's the first out of the bottom half of the second. And here's Luis Rengifo, one of my favorite players on the team. The average really died down last season. The OPS as well. You know, he plays really well until you hit September, and then he starts to struggle as he's going to swing through the fastball in the first pitch. He spent his entire career here in Anaheim. We signed him to an extension as well last year. Hopefully he can play like what he's worth. And it's 1-1. Kevin Gausman ready to deliver. Here's the pitch, and it's on the black for strike two. Going to have to protect now. Here's the 1-2 to Rengifo as this one's going to miss inside. Count goes to 2-2. Rengifo is going to hit this one on the ground. This one is through, and we are going to send O'Hoppe to the plate. The throw is not going to be there as the Angels will take a 1-0 lead. It's Luis Rengifo with RBI number 1 on the season. An excellent piece of hitting for Rengifo. He hit righties very well last season. Known for hitting, or his attributes would indicate that he is known for hitting lefties better than righties, but he hit righties very well a year ago. Here's Zach Neto now, 267 average a year ago, 14 home runs, 741 OPS, and 67 RBIs. It was his best season of his career by far. Neto is going to pop this one up to shallow center. Good swing timing, just got under it just a little bit too much, as that will bring Nolan Schanuel to the plate, the on-base machine. As Schanuel's going to bloop this one to left field, it will not get down, as that's going to be the third out of the inning. Luis Rengifo gives us a 1-0 lead, as this one's going to be popped up in foul territory. Alec Boehm ranging over to make the play as he gets his first put out as an Angel. Michael King up 0-2 on IKF. He's going to hit this one on the ground to Neto. It's going to be a tough play here, but we will make it for the second out. Michael King off to a very good start here on opening day. Hortz is going to hit this one down the line. This one is going to drop foul. Looking at the replay on this one just dropped foul by probably an inch and a half. Instead, Hortz will be down 0-2 on the count. He'll chop this one on the Neto, there to make the play for the third out. Neto's getting a lot of work. The middle infielders are getting a lot of work here through the first 3 innings. It's going to be Trout, Boehm, and Wisdom in the bottom half of the third. Trout down in the count 1-2 here against Gausman. Trout, of course, coming off of that MVP caliber season a year ago. As he's going to hit this one to right center field. This one's hit fairly well. It's back to the wall, and it's gone. Mike Trout starts off 2026 with a bang. As if hitting .318 with 36 home runs a year ago wasn't good enough, he's hitting .500 with 1 home run, on pace to hit .162. It's just too easy swinging the bat with a guy like Mike Trout. You just got to wait for your pitch. I mean, that's a tough one to hit, too. On the black on the outside. Trout just stays with it, and he didn't try to turn on it. He went the direction that the baseball was traveling to the plate, and he sent it to deep right center field for his first home run of the season. Alec Boehm walked in his first plate appearance. Down 1-2 quickly here to Kevin Gausman, who just threw pitch number 50, and it's on the black for strike 3. He gets the first out of the bottom half of the third. Kevin Gausman trying to bounce back here as he's quickly ahead 0-2 to Patrick Wisdom. Here's the pitch, and Wisdom will swing at the scurve. It's a 3-pitch at bat and the 4th strikeout for Kevin Gausman. Or is that a sweeping curve? I couldn't tell you what that pitch is. It is a sweeping curve. Okay, so SCV, sweeping curve. It's Mickey Moniak's turn. That kind of rhymed. As Moniak is going to crush this one at deep right field. If it stays fair, it's gone. And it is a foul ball. Mickey Moniak nearly made the score 3-0. Moniak's going to hit this one to deep center field. Had he turned on it a little bit more, probably would have been gone. It's not a home run, but Mike Trout did hit one. It's a 2-0 lead here for the Angels through 3. As that's going to be a strikeout for Michael King. It's the slurve on Bo Bichette. Strikeout number 3. As we'll take a look at the StatCast here, because I probably don't show this in the edit. And it's the slurve, an 11-inch break. The spin rate 3,036, whatever that means. But he made one of the best contact hitters in baseball look silly. Here's Kyle Schwarber now. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Like I said, big-time power hitter. But when you lose a guy like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., there's really no way to replace him. Vladdy was probably playing DH the last couple of years for them anyways. But Kyle Schwarber, just not the same caliber player, not to mention Vladdy is a lot younger. But Schwarber does pick up a base hit. Runner on with one away for Jeimer Candelario. As Candelario is going to hit this one, it's a line drive to right field. 2 runners on with only one away for the Blue Jays. Michael King in his first little jam of the season. Here's the 1-2 to Cowser, as he's going to poke his bat out there and actually make contact on that play. Those are the type of pitches that you wish could be strikeouts. Unfortunately, just a good piece of hitting at the plate. As the count now goes to 2-2, Cowser's going to lay off. And the count is going to be 3-2. 1 out, runners will not be on the move. Probably should have been ball 4. Cowser just couldn't lay off. So we're going to go 3-2. Here's the slurve. And it's going to be ball 4. Bases will be juiced for the Blue Jays. And we are going to make a mound visit. Like I said earlier in the game, Michael King does have that perfect double play ball sinker. This would be an excellent time to bust that one out. Instead, it will be a base knock for the Blue Jays, and this one will reach the gap. This is going to be a bases clearing double for Alejandro Kirk. As Michael King had an excellent 3 innings to start the game out. You could even say 3 1/3 to start the game out. Now he has given up 3 earned. As this one will be popped up to Alec Boehm for the second out. Michael King, unfortunately, just a rough 4th inning so far. 0-2 count to Dalton Varsho will miss low, as that will make the count 1-2. Can Michael King get out of this 4th inning in which he has given up 3 runs? If he can, I don't think this will be it for him, as Boehm will make the play for the 3rd out. It's 3 earned in the top half of the 4th. Hopefully, we can get a bounce back inning with Michael King in the 5th. As it's Logan O'Hoppe who kicked off the rally that kicked off the scoring here in this game, as O'Hoppe's going to pop this one up in foul territory. Candelario is there, and he makes the play. As Austin Hayes is ahead 3-1 here in the count. That 87 contact versus righties. Even the power kind of there with 52 power. Here is the 3-1. Is going to be fouled away. The count will be full. As here's the 3-2 from Gausman, and he's going to get Hayes swinging. Kevin Gausman with his 5th strikeout of the game so far. As here comes pitch number 69. Nice. Luis Rengifo down 1-2 as he's going to foul back the fastball to stay alive. 1-2 is going to be a strikeout. It's strikeout number 6 for Kevin Gausman, as the Blue Jays will retain their 3-2 lead. 3rd time through the order here for the Blue Jays. It's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, one of the hardest names to say fast 3 times. As Rengifo is going to be there to make the play. And apparently Rengifo is a hard name to say as well. 1 away. As Horitz is going to hit this one in the gap. Moniak's not going to get there in time to make the play. It's going to be a 1-out double for the Blue Jays. I thought I spoke too soon. I thought Horitz was actually going to try and turn that into a triple. He didn't, as it's going to be a runner in scoring position now for Bo Bichette. Here's the 1-2 to Bichette, as he's going to hit this one to right field. Moniak ranging over to make the play, as he's going to come up firing to 3rd. Runner will not test the arm of Mickey Moniak. Here's the 1-1, hit back up the middle. Can Rengifo make the play? He can't. And it's going to be a run for the Blue Jays. How does Michael King not make that play? Career hit number 1,000 for Kyle Schwarber. Let's watch the replay here. How does Michael King not make that play? And then Rengifo just not quick enough to get to the ball before it goes up the middle. And that's going to extend the Blue Jays lead to 4-2. This probably is the last inning here for Michael King. I was going to say if he can get out of the 5th without allowing a run, I would give him the 6th. But unfortunately, he's just given up a little too much. As now I'm remembering, Jeimer Candelario was traded to the Blue Jays for Christopher Span, a very exciting young first baseman who is now like the #1 prospect in the Reds organization, as Candelario nearly got all of that one. He will fly out to Moniak to end the inning, but it's 4 earned for Michael King in his Angels debut here on opening day. Kevin Gausman staying in the game here for the bottom half of the 5th, as that's an ugly swing by myself. 71 pitches in to the game. Kevin Gausman has this ridiculous slider that I just can't hit at the moment. Now, if he throws it to a lefty batter, it's something that I will definitely take advantage of. But the slider is just really hard to hit with these righty hitters, as Neto is down 1-2 in the count. Here is the 1-2 from Gausman, and this one's going to be hit to left field. This one's back to the track for the first out. And here's Nolan Shanuel. He's 0 for 2. He hasn't gotten on base yet. What? Shanuel down in the count 1-2 as he's going to swing and miss on the sweeping curve. It's another strikeout for Kevin Gausman. He's on fire at the moment. As Trout's going to hit this one, and this one is smacked to left field. This is going to be a double for Mike Trout. That one off the bat was ridiculously loud. An opportunity for Alec Boehm here, somebody who is very good with runners in scoring position. As Boehm's going to hit this one on the ground to Bichette, and that is going to be in the inning. 99 clutch, and that's the best we got out of him. As we're going to bring in Jimmy Herget, a 3.3 ERA, 1.06 whip a year ago, and 76 innings of work. He's our long relief arm along with Chase Silseth this year. I mean, Jimmy Herget's been very good in back-to-back seasons in the franchise. I just haven't played that much with him. To be honest with you, this might be my first bit of action with him in the series. As last year, I mean, in 2024, he was even better with a 1.92 ERA. As a reliever, 0.9 WAR total. Definitely a very solid option out of the pen. As he just got Colton Cowser to swing on a pitch that hit him. Jimmy Herget is nasty on the mound. As this one's going to be hit into his shallow center. Zach Neto ranging over. He's there for the first out. Yeah, this is definitely the first time that I've pitched with Jimmy Herget in the series. The 2-2 to Kirk is going to be fouled away. A pretty solid battle here for Alejandro Kirk, somebody who has a 3 RBI double on the day, and he's just been hit by the pitch. The second guy Herget has hit, one guy just happened to swing while getting hit. As this one's going to be hit on the ground, and it's going to get past Boehm, who laid out for it. Alejandro Kirk nowhere near fast enough to advance to third on that hit. But Jimmy Herget not having the greatest start to the 2026 season. It is Dalton Varsho's turn, as that one right there has got to be called a strike. As Herget is quickly down 3-0 in the count. Here is the 3-0 for Varsho. He's going to foul this one back. As that is a get-me-over strike right there. I can't believe the umpire called that. 3-2. Here is the pitch from Herget, as this one's going to be fouled away by Varsho. Here's the slider, and it's going to miss. Bases loaded now with only 1 out, as it's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. We're going to pitch to him with Herget. 20 pitches for Jimmy Herget so far in this inning. He has only gotten 1 out. Looking for the double play ball here. Here's the 0-2 to Falefa, and he's going to get him swinging. Jimmy Herget with the strikeout, and I think that's going to be all. Yep, that's going to be all we see from him. We're going to bring in Robert Stevenson, who was also very good a year ago. A 2.96 ERA, 1.14 whip, 70 innings of work. Was definitely worth every penny that the Angels spent on him heading into the 2024 season. As Horitz is going to check his swing, but the umpire says he went around. As here is the 0-1. Here's the 1-2 to Spencer Horitz. This one is going to miss, and the count will go to 2-2. Here's the pitch from Robert Stevenson, and he gets the strikeout. The relievers get out of the bases loaded jam. The score is still 4-2. As it's Nate Pearson coming on here for the Blue Jays, only 9 innings of work a year ago. That 5.59 ERA would probably indicate why he only got that many innings a year ago. probably spent a lot of time down at the AAA level. Patrick Wisdom was a 2025 All-Star, his first All-Star appearance of his career. He's looking to get back to it for the second year in a row. With the power that he has at the plate, he definitely has the potential for it. Here's the 3-2 upcoming to Patrick Wisdom. This is definitely Wisdom's count right here. This is exactly the position he wants to be in, and it's going to be a strikeout for Nate Pearson. Pretty good slider there that I just didn't hold back on, as it's Mickey Moniak's turn here to face the righty, as Moniak's going to foul away the curveball. As Moniak will ground this one to the first baseman. 2 outs for Nate Pearson. Excellent outing so far. I mean, he's looking like he's going to be on the big league roster longer this season than he was last year. Here's the 1-2 from Nate Pearson on O'Hoppe, and he gets him swinging at the curveball. The Angels' bats have gone cold, and the Blue Jays have awoken. As we're going to keep Robert Stevenson in the game, only threw 5 pitches in the last inning. As this one's going to be hit to right center field. Trout on the move for the first out. Bichette 1 for 4. And it's Kyle Schwarber's turn now. He is 2 for 3 here on opening day. As this one's going to be hit to right field. Moniak is there. Only the 1 home run in today's game hit by Mike Trout. And I feel like I just jinxed it, especially with a guy like Jeimer Candelario to the plate. But Stevenson is ahead 0-2 in the count, and he's going to pick up the strikeout. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Robert Stevenson. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Can we wake up our bats? And it's Zach Pop. Whereas people that aren't in Ohio like me would say, Zach Soda. As Austin Hayes is going to come to the plate for his 3rd opportunity on the day, as that was a pitch to hit. Just really didn't see it out of Soda's hands. As Austin Hayes is quickly down 0-2 in the count, as he's going to swing wildly at the slider, and he is going to strike out yet again. I think it was Pop's release angle and the fact that Austin Hayes crowded the plate that I just couldn't see the ball out of his hand at all. I think we would fare a lot better with lefties at the plate here against Pop, as that is going to be a sinker that gets across for the first strike here against Luis Rengifo, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Rengifo down 2-2 in the count, and that's going to be another strikeout for Zach Pop. The sinker that time gets Rengifo, and it is looking grim for the Angels. As Neto will chop this one on the ground, it's Candelario for the 3rd out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Pop, and the Angels' chances here on opening day are starting to slim. As we're going to bring on Jose Soriano. Last season only pitched 5 2/3 with us, 9.5 ERA, 1.5 WHIP. The strikeout rate was extremely high, but unfortunately he just gave up too much. In the spring, on the other hand, he was very good, as he's going to hit Colton Cowser on the first pitch. Let's try this again, please. As that one will also miss. A wild pitcher for sure, Jose Soriano is, but he's got some electric stuff if he can just locate it. He's now up to a B potential as well. I don't know if I mentioned that in the offseason video, but he is a B potential player now. So that's something to definitely look out for, as maybe that will help his development. As here's the 1-2 to Kirk. This one's going to be popped up. Shanuel, should he make the play or should he not? Yeah, he probably should have made the play to get the runner Cowser out, who's a lot faster than Kirk. Watch that now come back to bite me. Here's George Springer to the plate. Now he's 1 for 3. The goal is to allow Jose Soriano to go the rest of the game here. If not, we might have to bring in somebody else. But the goal is to allow Soriano to throw probably 20 to 30 pitches and take us to the finish line. Here's the 2-2 to Springer. That one's going to miss way off the plate, as we'll be down to a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. Springer's going to hit this one in the gap, and yep, it definitely mattered, because I'll tell you something right now, Alejandro Kirk would not have scored on that double. No, he would not have. Yep, go figure. It comes back to haunt me. Probably should have let the ball drop. I decided, no, I don't want to do that. And instead, the Blue Jays extend their lead. If I lose the game 5-4 now, I'm going to be furious with myself. As this one's going to be crushed to left center field, the Blue Jays will extend their lead 6-2. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa was 0 for 4 before that one. The slurve was just not located well for Jose Soriano. The second run he's allowed here. Was hoping for a turnaround for a guy like Jose Soriano, but if this is any indication of how the season's going to go, I don't think that's going to happen, as we're just going to take the easy play and tag out the runner, Kiner Falefa. But it's a 4-run game now. That's a lot different than a 2-run game. Shenuel is going to hit this one to left field. It's going to be an 0 for 4 day for our on-base machine. Mike Trout, on the other hand, 2 for 3 with a home run and a double. This dude just continues to smash the ball. The one bright spot on the team so far in today's game. Can he pick up hit number 3? It's not going to be a hit, but it will be a third time he's reached in today's game. And it's Alec Boehm's turn. And I think I'm going to steal first pitch here with Mike Trout. I think it just helps Boehm out when there's a runner on second. This is going to have to be a hit and run situation because Trout is smoked at second. Just what kind of jump is that? Just a terrible jump. And now Alec Boehm won't have anybody on base for him. It'd be great if he hit a home run right now, huh? Boehm is going to hit this one in the gap, and it would have scored Mike Trout regardless. And it's going to be a 2-out double for Alec Boehm. At least somebody who's new to the team is having a pretty decent day. Alec Boehm reaches for the second time today with a walk and a double. Unfortunately, no RBI because we tried to steal second with Trout. But Patrick Wisdom is a dangerous hitter regardless. He can do damage. As that was the pitch to do it on, just very early on the cutter. Oh boy, if I get that one back, it's going over the wall and left. Here's the 0-2. Just misses the zone for Dominic Leone. Can Patrick Wisdom cut into this lead here? Here's the 1-2 to him. As he's going to swing and miss at the cutter. The pitching for the Blue Jays has been lights out since the 3rd inning. And it's Jose Soriano with 21 pitches. Not going to keep him in the game. It will be Ben Joyce, who had a 4.97 ERA, 1.44 whip a year ago, 25% strikeout rate, which is pretty solid. But, you know, I think he spent a little bit too much time at the big leagues last year. Pitched in a total of 40 games and was not that great. Here's the 0-2 to Bichette. And it's going to be a strike 3 looking. It's the second time Bo Bichette has struck out in today's game. He goes to 1 for 5. As it's Kyle Schwarber who has 2 hits. And he mashes righties. This is back-to-back flamethrowers, though, here for the Angels. We just saw Soriano, who reached 101 a couple of times, and Ben Joyce, somebody who can also hit that number. How do you have a shift on against Schwarber, and he can still hit it through a gap on the right side of the infield? Just doesn't make any sense to me. Here's the 0-2 to Candelario. Look out, nearly hit him. As here's the 1-2 now to him, as that one is a wild 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Here's the 2-2 to Candelario, and he's going to stay alive by fouling it down the left side. Strike 3 for Ben Joyce. The 4-seam fastball finds the zone. As we're looking to pick up one more out and then bring the lineup to the plate in the home half of the ninth to try and pull off a ridiculous comeback. As this one's going to be hit to left center field. Trout's not going to be there to cut it off, and this one should extend the lead for the Blue Jays unless we're able to get it in quick enough. We do. So Ben Joyce will keep that ERA to 0. But the whip now goes up to a ridiculous number of 18. Or would it be 2? Yeah, it would definitely be 2. 18 would be... If you had an 18 whip, you should be demoted down to Little League. As this one's going to be popped behind a plate. And Ohapi might have a play. He does. We need to score 4 or we're going to lose here on opening day. As here comes Tim Maiza into the game. 3.09 ERA, 1.08 whip last season. Really good year for him. He's a lefty, so we are going to take Mickey Moniak out, and we're going to bring in Joe Adell to face Tim Maiza. An excellent spring for Joe Adell is what, allowed him to make the team. If he can perform well here at the big leagues, as this one's going to be chopped to Bichette. It's a quick out number 1. So forget everything I was saying about Joe Adell. Ohapi's going to hit this one down the line, and this one is going to be a fair ball as Ohapi's going to try and turn this into a double, and he is in there. It's the second double of the day for Logan Ohapi. Okay, so more than just 2 players are going to perform well in this game. as that one nearly could have, gotten out there. I think he just missed a super short home run, as now it's Austin Hayes' turn. He's 0 for 3. He has not been good in this one. Hayes is going to hit this one, and it is going to get down, and it's going to be a run for the Angels. It's a 3-run game now, folks. Austin Hayes picks up his first hit and his first RBI as an Angel. He got a pretty sizable contract in the offseason. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some people in the comments who aren't going to like the addition of him, but it is what it is, as Chad Green will come on now, 13 of 18 on saves from a year ago, as he's going to look to close things out. Rengifo doesn't hit righties particularly well here, but I do believe we're going to give him an opportunity. Yep. As Rengifo is ahead, 3-1 in the count, as that's a 4-seam fastball that I'd love to get back. It's going to be a 3-2 count here, and I'm going to be on the move with Austin Hayes. We might see a strike him out, throw him out situation. Is he going to run or what? I don't know what takes these guys so long to start their steal attempt. I'm not going to do it this time. Maybe if we foul off another one, I might attempt it again. Here's the 3-2. Rengifo, just a little too early on it. We are going to attempt to steal again with Hayes on first. Here's the pitch. Rengifo is going to hit this one to the left center gap, and this one is going to be caught and ran down. So I was right to return to first. And Zach Neto 0 for 3 on the day. We're going to keep him in the hit. I don't really see a point in substituting at this point. And this one's going to be hit to left field. Dalton Varsho is there to make the play, and the Blue Jays have won on opening day 6-2. Our bats started out hot in the second and third inning. The pitching was good for the first 3 innings, and then it all fell apart in the fourth. And that's going to result in an opening day loss. Probably should have given the opening day start to Griffin Canning. If I could do it all over again, I probably would. As looking at it, Trout with 2 hits, O'Hoppe with 2 hits. And it was a home run for Mike Trout. Michael King, 5 innings of work, allowed 4 earned. Not a great debut for him. Jimmy Herget did not allow a run because Robert Stevenson picked him up, as Stevenson was clearly the best pitcher on the field today, as Jose Soriano allowed 2 earned, along with Ben Joyce giving us a solid 1 inning of work. Looking at the pitching for the Blue Jays, because Kevin Gausman gave up the 2 early runs in the game, but really locked in and finished with 7 strikeouts. The Blue Jays as a team finished with a total of 12 strikeouts. So my goal here is to get through the first 2 series of the season here, and then finish off this episode, because the start of the next episode is going to be the Double-A debut on the season. There's some players that I'm definitely excited about down at the Double-A level. So game 2 here. Never mind, because the Bees have 28 players on their active roster, so I have to fix that real quick. So something that I just noticed while adjusting my AAA lineup is Reynel Delgado. He's a Rule 5 pickup guy. He cleared optional waivers, and he cleared outright waivers. So does that mean he is, a part of our team now? Because once we sent him down, we shouldn't have had the opportunity to keep him on our team. He should have just automatically went back to the team that he originally belonged to. So I'll have to figure that out, because if it's something, where Reynel Delgado shouldn't be on our team, then I'll go in there and I'll just trade him for, a whatever type of player. Just because he's 26 years old, 67 overall, B potential guy. And now we can keep him down in the minors for as long as we want. So just something to think about. I might actually go ahead and trade him back to his original team out, off screen, off camera, if you will. But we did lose game 2 here of the series. Alec Boehm had a pair of hits. It was Patrick Wisdom and O'Hoppe with home runs, as Reed Detmers allowed 4 earned. Chase Silseth pitched pretty well in the long relief role. Walked 5 batters, though, which is definitely not good. As here we are, top 9 with 2 outs. Andrew Wantz with an opportunity to save this game. We've given up 3 runs in the 9th. The question is Andrew Wantz responsible for giving up these runs here? As George Springer to the plate for the Blue Jays. We're looking for the first win of 2026. This is the year where I think we really need to turn it around. We have to be a 500 team at the least. As Andrew Wantz picks up Strike 2 on Springer. Here's the 1-2, and it's going to be strike 3, and the Angels get their first victory of the 2026 season. Now we have to figure out who is responsible for giving up 3 runs in the 9th inning. 2 hits for Shanuel. Luis Rengifo 3 for 3 with 2 dingers. Patrick Wisdom hit his second of the season, and Nolan Shanuel also hit his first. Looking at the pitching, Griffin Canning, excellent start. Exactly what I would expect out of him. Jimmy Herget did really well. Robert Stevenson was the guy who gave up 2 earned. Andrew Wanston came in and allowed an earned run. Picks up the save, though, nonetheless, as we hold on to pick up our first victory of the season. Now the question is, can we finish the series with a series tie? We're going to player lock here with Alec Boehm against the lefty on the mound. As Joe Adell will also be picking up his first start of the season out there in right field. I wish him luck because the way he played in the spring definitely indicated to me that he might be ready for an increased role and maybe a breakout. As it's Jordan Montgomery on the mound here for the Angels. Picked him up in the offseason. Didn't play for anybody in 2024, but last season had a 3.7 ERA, 1.18 whip. Not a whole lot of strikeouts, but the walk rate is down. Pitched over 200 innings a year ago. I think he's a player who definitely gives us something better than what we had in the past. As it's Bo Bichette to the plate now. A 1-2-3 inning looking like it's going to be likely as Alec Boehm will be there to make that happen. But yeah, I mean, nothing against guys like Chase Silseth and Fernando Guillen because they pitched very well last season for us. But Chase Silseth had a very, very rough spring, and then Fernando Guillen did as well. Although I do suspect Fernando Guillen will be back up to the big leagues pretty soon, if I had to guess. It's Ricky Tiedemann on the mound for the Blue Jays. And there's a runner on first for Alec Boehm. This is where Boehm produces the most. 92 contact versus lefty, 86 power. And he's got the vision as well. This guy mashes against lefties, and we really just didn't see that when he played for the Phillies in year 1 and year 2 of the franchise. As here comes the 3-2 from Tiedemann. It's Mike Trout over there on first. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a walk for Alec Boehm. I will take that all day long. You know, part of getting older is realizing that a walk sometimes is just as good as a hit. The on-base percentage is where you look, not the average. I was about to say not the home runs category as well, but you love guys like Patrick Wisdom because these guys can mash. As he's going to go down swinging. And it's going to be Zach Neto now to the plate. 14 home runs like last year. He's in the 5-hole here for us in today's game. He hits pretty well against lefties, but he is off to a rough start to the season, a 100 average. This one is going to be blooped in as Trout is going to try and score, and he is going to be thrown out at the plate. An excellent play by Varsho out and left. It looked like Trout kind of hesitated instead of just committing to rounding third. What a play by Varsho. Yeah, I want to look here at Trout because it looked like he just kind of stayed on third. I mean, what kind of round is that? You know, I think the third base coach was telling him to stay on third, and Trout, you know, just doesn't have it in him anymore on the base passes. That was just ugly. Looking for the double play ball here as Candelario is going to hit this one on the ground to Boehm. Throw on to second. There's one, and the runner will be safe at first. Varsho hit an RBI double, and we scored one on an error. The bases are juiced for Alec Boehm. As that one right there, I wanted to swing at. I don't know if I'll get it back. Here's the 0-2, as that one will miss the zone. This one is going to be popped up to shallow right field. High fastball. I tried to turn on it. I was just late and got 2 underneath of it. All right. Bases juiced again. This time, nobody out, and Joe Adell hit a solo home run. The game wants me to hit a grand slam with Alec Boehm. Not going to be a grand slam, but this one will definitely score 1. Could it score 2? Here's the play at the plate. No play at the plate, and it's a 2 RBI base hit for Alec Boehm to extend our lead to 4-1. As here's Patrick Wisdom now, 1 for 2 on the day. We just mentioned it earlier. He's got the power in that bat. Here's the pitch as he's going to strike out for the second time. Come on, Wisdom. What about Zach Neto? He's 1 for 2. You know, probably shouldn't be batting 5th here. You know, it's probably not the smartest thing. Because if we get that lefty out of the game, that's probably what's going to happen. Is this is going to be just one at first. Runners will advance to second and third as it's Austin Hayes. He was hit by a pitch and later scored. He's 0 for 1 otherwise. Here's the 2-2, and it's going to be strike 3. The Blue Jays will get out of the fourth, but it's 4-1. Can we hang on to the lead, please? So far, so good. Bottom 6. It's Bowden Francis still on the mound here for the Blue Jays. I say still because I think he was the one that was on in the fourth, if I'm not mistaken. This one's going to be grounded. It's going to be a double play, 6-4-3 double play for the Blue Jays. Neto with a home run and Joe Adell with an RBI single to extend our lead to 6-1. Bowden Francis still on the mound here for the Blue Jays. I love being able to keep track of what has happened in the game. Joe Adell is the one guy who's played really good so far. As this one's going to be flied out to right field. Might be the last at-bat for Bohm, but hopefully we can hold on and split the series against the Blue Jays. We do. 2-2 is our record through the first 4 games. You know, you'd like to have swept the Blue Jays. You'd like to have won 3. Worst case scenario, we were able to pick up 2 victories. As Mike Trout with 2 hits, Zach Neto with 2, and Adell with 2 hits. It's Neto and Adell with home runs. And then looking at the pitching, Jordan Montgomery was flawless. 9 innings of work, only allowed the 1 earn, 5 hits, 3 walks. Only 2 strikeouts, so kind of an odd day for Jordan Montgomery. But overall, you can't ask for much more. It's a series split here against the Blue Jays. Now a series here against the Minnesota Twins. They're also 2-2. It was John Means on the mound for this one. Austin Hayes with 3 hits. Alec Boehm and Trout with a pair. Moniak, Rengifo, and Ibanez all with 2 hits. So it was a total of 15 hits, but our pitching is what struggled. We also gave up 3 errors. It was John Means allowing 5 earned. Jose Soriano will be charged for 3 runs, but not earned runs. So just a weird day right there. Austin Hayes, Elias Diaz, and Luis Rengifo all with errors. If we just didn't make those errors, we probably would have won the game. As game 2 of the series, we're going to drop that one 3-6. Looking at this one, 2 hits for Bohm, 2 for Wisdom, and a home run for Kemp Alderman. He's the Rule 5 pickup, somebody who made the team as our alternate outfielder. He looks pretty good, and it's Michael King who struggled. Gave up 5 earned, 5 strikeouts. Jose Soriano gives up more runs. Jimmy Herget, Ben Joyce, and Caleb Ferguson all allow nothing. And it's Corbin Burns on the mound here in the series finale against the Twins. I'm going to do one more player lock game, and I'm going to do this one with Austin Hayes. Might as well get one more look at one of the new guys and see if we can't avoid the sweep against the Twins. It would be a terrible start to the season if we get swept here. The Twins are a team, though, that they're really built to make a run. And Reed Detmers is somebody that I'm not playing with. If he is going to go out here and he's going to suck through his first 5 starts, he's going to be sent down immediately. He's not somebody that I can screw around with. I want winners on this team. I don't want players who are now in their 5th year and they're just not performing. Joe Adell. Well, there's a 1-0 lead for the Twins, but runners on second and third here. Here's an opportunity for Austin Hayes. As Hayes is going to hit this one, it's going to be an RBI. And we're going to send the runner. Here's the play at the plate. And it's going to be 2 RBIs for Austin Hayes as he's in the second. There we go. That's the hitting we're looking for with Austin Hayes. Here's Luis Rengifo, 318 average so far in the season. As here's the 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. Rengifo will go down swinging. Zach Neto off to a rough start, 158 average. An RBI can turn things around here for him. Here's the 0-2 to Neto. He's going to hit this one to right field. Right fielder is there for the final out. We get 2 back, though, with the Austin Hayes RBI double. As now we go top 3, Byron Buxton to the plate. Something I want to talk about moving forward is I don't know if I'm going to do these like split episodes where like the beginning part is like post commentary and then the rest of the video is live commentary like what we're doing right now. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do that. It just takes a lot of time. And that's now 5-2. We really do have a decision to make with a guy like Reed Detmers. He's just, when push comes to shove, the dude gets shoved. Yeah, let me know if you guys are liking these episodes. I know the views are really dying down right now. And my goal was to get some PlayStation 2, style videos out, of some older games, but a lot of the games I wanted to show you guys don't work for me anymore. So, I do have a place where I could go and potentially pick up ESPN NFL 2K3 if you guys would be interested in that. I also have Madden 04. Maximum Football just released their open beta, so I'm going to play that for a couple of days, and then my plan is to make a video on that and kind of talk about what they need to change. It's not going to be the greatest game at the moment, but I'm hoping I can make a unbiased video and kind of post it on Twitter potentially and send it to the devs and kind of see if they'll take my word. Now I'm just kind of yapping, but I want to put out some more content here, and at the moment this series is kind of dying down, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. But I hope you guys are enjoying it, because I'm enjoying making the videos. Just gotta kind of stay with me here, as Hayes is going to come up firing to third. I don't know why he's advancing. Pretty good play by Austin Hayes, but pretty dumb base running at the same time, as the score will be 5-4 now. Patrick Wisdom with a 2 RBI home run to cut into the lead. As there's my little yap session for the video. I like doing it, but I'm trying to be clear to the point when I make these videos. I don't want to keep yapping, because it makes the videos 1 hour and 20 minutes long, which is no good for, retention. As this one is going to hit Hayes, as he's going to reach for the second time today, as it's a runner on first with nobody out, and it's Renifo's turn at the plate. Renifo is going to hit this one back up the middle. Hayes is going to stay put at second. We're not going to make the same mistake whatever runner that was for the Twins made. I think it was Buxton, to be honest with you. As Neto's going to square to bunt. This is going to be a pretty solid bunt. He's going to be thrown out at first, but it will advance the runners. And it's Nolan Shanuel to the plate, one of the best on-base guys on our team. Here's the 1-0 to Shanuel, and that one's going to miss as well. I don't know why it's showing me every single pitch. It might have been a setting that I changed. I don't know. Here's the 3-0 to Shanuel, and that's going to be a 1-out walk. The bases are juiced from one of the most dangerous guys in baseball. It's Mike Trout. Infield is in here. They're going to try and turn 2. The corners are in. The middle infielders are back. This one's going to be hit through the gap, and it's going to be 1 run that scores. Renifo is the second guy to come across the plate, and he's safe. It's a 6-5 lead for the Angels. Mike Trout with 2 RBIs. The Angels are looking to steal this one away from the Twins. Bottom 8 now. Score is still 6-5. It's Josh Winder on the mound. I would love to pick up this victory. I'd feel a lot better ending off this episode, as Austin Hayes is going to pop this one up to left field. Just got underneath of it a little too much, and hopefully we can hang on as we head to the top of the ninth. As Ahmed Rosario comes to plate, he's leading off for the Twins. Of course, we had him on the team last year, and we just really didn't like what he brought to the table. Kemp Alderman homered in his MLB debut. Just now realized that. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get it with him, but we do pick up the victory. I started to get a little sweaty there because I didn't think we were going to be able to do it. I'm taking a look at the box score here. Mike Trout with 2 hits, the biggest hit of the day. Mike Trout with 2. Patrick Wisdom with 2, and then Hayes, Renifo, and Neto all with 1. Moniak also had 1. Patrick Wisdom hit his 3rd home run of the season. This dude is just a power threat. Reed Detmers allowed 5 earned through 4, which is not good, but Chase Silseth shut it down. Robert Stevenson, Tanner Scott, and Andrew Wantz did the rest, as it's going to be a series loss overall, but a 3-4 start to the season. And you know what? I can live with that. Griffin Canning will be on the mound for the next game here against the Chicago Cubs. But of course, what we are concerned with is our Double-A debut against the Tennessee Smokies, where you're going to see the likes of guys like Mac Horvath, Dennis Brown, who I'm super excited about, Ken Nomo, who's got that electric power that you can expect to see in the future, Ramon Ramirez, Horacio Walker. This Double-A squad is loaded. I'm excited about what we have down there. We still don't have, the prospect pool that I would want, but with guys like Dennis Brown and Ken Nomo, 2 guys that are on the brink of being A potential guys, both are 18 years old, it gets you excited. And then looking at our AAA squad, Sean Skinner, he's batting .286 so far through 21 at-bats. So that's something to think about, because if people are struggling at the big league level, he might get an opportunity sooner rather than later. And then looking at the AAA pitching here, Fernando Guillen through 2 starts with a 3.29 ERA, .73 whip. Definitely pleased with that so far. Chase Chaney, on the other hand, not pitching too well. But Eric Mott, 2 innings of work. He's also not really pitching well. Might put him in a long relief role. I think that might be what's best for him. Ronnie Enriquez can go ahead and close some games out. I just want Eric Mott to get innings. He's 21 years old, and his clock has already started since we brought him up. He needs to get some innings. Fernando Guillen, we're going to let him handle his business because I think that's exactly what he'll do. Michael King, off to a rough start this season. Reed Detmers, same story. Griffin Canyon, on the other hand, not too bad. Jordan Montgomery, an electric start. John Means struggling as well. But the bullpen is doing their thing. Robert Stevenson, 3.86 ERA, but a .86 whip. Jose Soriano is the one guy who's really kind of struggling at the moment. Andrew Wantz, you could say the same thing, I guess. But looking at the lineup, Nolan Shanuel, 190 average to start. Trout, 375 average. Alec Boehm, 308. Patrick Wisdom, 3 home runs, 333 average is ridiculous through 7 games. Moniak struggling. Ohapi is struggling as well. Austin Hayes, batting pretty well. Luis Rengifo as well with 2 home runs. Neto, kind of struggling. But Andy Ibanez, really good off the bench. Elias Diaz, he's going to do what he's going to do. Kemp Alderman with a home run in his MLB debut. And then Joe Adell, 8 at-bats into the season with 1 home run and a 250 average. I'm excited about what this season could bring to the table. The next episode is going to be that AA debut where I'm going to probably play the full game, but we're going to do quick counts instead. And then we're also going to have our first scouting cycle of the season. And then we might also check in on Sean Skinner and Fernando Guillen. And that would probably wrap up that episode. Not really sure how this season's going to go, how much ground we're going to cover. If we're playing above 500 baseball, I'd like to go slower. But if we're playing 500 baseball or lower, we're probably going to speed through this season just like we did season 1 and season 2. And then season 4 would be an all-in year. But I hope you guys enjoyed opening day here in the 2026 season. We're 3-4 to start. Not the greatest start, but I can live with it at the end of the day. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.